Welcome back to another edition of Gen Sports Corner. Back at you. What's today's date? February 18th, 2021. I am your
Yeah,
host, Jen. Uh, this is my co-host here. Introduce yourself,
Ri-
sir.
Ryan from Ryan Sportscast. What's going on, everybody?
Absolutely. And you can see by the jersey he's wearing what we're going to get into topic-wise today. So, what you think about the trade, man? There's no secret.
Um, Absolutely atrocious. I mean, let's not get it twisted here. You get a third round pick and then a conditional second rounder. It can possibly turn into a first, depending on how often he plays this coming year. If he plays I think it's 70 to 75% of the snaps, can turn into a first round pick. So I just feel as though they should have got a player with it, and it just could have been a better trade, man. I just to see him go like that and I was at work when I saw the news break. It was on the TV at my job, and I felt like I was living a bad nightmare, bro. Like I love Carson, and I wish him the best in Indy, but I just wasn't a fan of the trade and how it's handled. But what do you think of it, Stan?
Mm. This was an interesting situation. I see it one of two ways. The organization completely mismanaged this whole situation. And I'm not saying that they were wrong in drafting Jalen Hurts, but
Not at all.
they miscalculated how Carson Wentz was going to respond both to the trade and down the line after he got benched. Those two scenarios. He played like a guy that had a chip on his shoulder and tried to do too much. I don't think it was for lack of talent on his end. And then after he got benched, he obviously was unhappy. So whether it was him putting the word out there or his agent putting it out there, either way, the agent has the free reign to only do what you allow him to. So one way or another, Carson co-signed on the speculation that was out there that he was unhappy and that he wanted to be out of Philadelphia after he was benched. So he put the Eagles in a precarious situation in two ways. One, because of his play, and then two, because of the news that came out that he didn't want to be part of the organization after they benched him. So he put them behind the eight ball. Teams knew that he was going to be gone. He didn't want to play there. So they naturally don't have the leverage that they would with a Deshaun Watson, who, despite everything coming out of Houston, he had a great year. And people can see that with a crap team and a crap organization around him. I mean, there was a reason why JJ Watt wanted to get out of there.
Hmm.
But Deshaun Watson had a great year, whereas Carson Wentz did not. So they're behind the eight ball with a guy that doesn't want to be there, but didn't put up the numbers for them to get what they feel like they deserve. I mean, look at Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford had what? I don't even have a list long enough for the injuries that he had last year.
Hmm.
Yet he still went out and balled when he was like halfway walking on one leg and still put up good numbers. So they were able to get a king's ransom for him from the Rams.
Oh yeah.
But yet the Eagles, now I can't neither confirm or deny the reports. They wanted, and their asking price was in a similar price range.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, Howie Roseman and the Eagles organization priced themselves out of the market for a lot of teams.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, the Colts were really the only team that was really interested. And I'm looking at a report right now from Tyler Sullivan, CBS NFL, Carson Wentz trade. Bears never made the Eagles an offer for the quarterback per report. I don't know the validity of that report, but that would not be surprising to me. Um,
Hmm.
for as long as Wentz was on the block, it was widely assumed to be a two-team race between the Bears and the Colts. At one point, Chicago was even looked at as the front runner to acquire Wentz, with Albert Breer of Monday Morning Quarterback reporting blah 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 blah. But it doesn't seem like they were really a serious player, and it seemed as though they were never going to match the offer that was out there by the Colts if they were even interested, right? But both of
Right.
those teams had um, personnel on the coaching staffs that were familiar with the Eagles, right? They had ties to the Eagles, but
Hmm.
the other teams out there, they didn't. They didn't have their interest was lukewarm, if that at best. So if I'm the Colts, Colts got to steal, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I think the Eagles, in all honesty, got the best that they could because this was really a salary dump, if anything else.
Oh yeah,
Um,
makes sense. It does.
yeah,
I mean, I get it, but
that's why they're not getting the type of return that they could. I'll tell you this much: the the word out there is that Derek Carr has got fielded a lot of offers from teams on the Raiders' behalf, and he's a much more desirable commodity for these other teams because his contract is team friendly.
oh yeah,
He's making $25 million a year, and I don't think a huge majority of that is guaranteed at this point in the life of the contract.
yeah.
So, do I think that Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Derek Carr? Yes, but is he a more valuable commodity at this point? Absolutely not.
hmm
From a financial standpoint.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Um,
salary cap is the reason why they couldn't get as you know a better compensation. Like these other guys.
right. I mean, um, quarterbacks are at a premium. I mean, I've seen worse quarterbacks require a first round pick to
hmm
get them in the trade.
Right.
Um, and Carson Wentz is by no means because people tend to forget that with Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson, people talk about, well, people rag on Deshaun Watson like, oh, well, if he actually put up numbers in all the first three quarters, he wouldn't have to come back in the fourth quarter. It's because he ain't got a fucking line. Man. Like people don't have a true appreciation of how hard it is to get into the NFL and be a performer at a star level in the NFL. And unlike basketball, which is a team sport, I get it. This is much more of a team sport to a finer degree because you are counting on an offensive line for your modicum of success. Right.
hmm
So, like, when you don't have a good team around you in basketball, you might put up a whole lot of points, but you're not necessarily going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we've seen that with Jordan, we've seen that with some of the greats, right? But
Absolutely.
but you don't have the danger of getting your freaking head taken off every other play because somebody missed the block. Like it's
Exactly.
an inherently different degree of danger and and a degree of gravity that is in football that you don't see in other sports per se. So yeah, like did he hold the ball too long at times? Did he try to do too much at times? Of course. There is accountability on his end, but he got sacked 50 times, but the Eagles O line actually, still gave up 65 sacks. So where'd the other 15 sacks come from, right? Because the
hmm
Colts, they only gave up, how many sacks the Colts gave up last year?
How many?
With a stationary target in Phillip Rivers?
How many did they give up?
They gave up 19 sacks.
Mm.
And the Eagles O line gave up 15 sacks alone to Carson Wentz's backups. So, right. And that's in limited action. So, like, what? That's like 4 weeks that Jalen Hurts had to start. So
Geez.
he got sacked, what, 15 times in 4 weeks, whereas the Colts only gave up 19 sacks to 65-year-old Phillip Rivers all year. Like, what do you think would have happened to Phillip Rivers had he been on the Eagles and Jalen Hurts or Wentz had been on the Colts last year? I mean,
You already know how that's going to work out. I'll tell
I
you,
can't,
Carson
yeah.
Wentz is in a good situation now. So.
I can't predict what level of success he would have had or will have, but what I can predict is that he wouldn't have gotten sacked 50 times. Maybe he
Yeah,
got sacked
100.
25, 30 times, but not no damn 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You
Yeah,
know, so yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. I just think that the Eagles, they got what they could in a bad situation, and the Colts are getting fortunate again. They had to transition from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, a couple really great years with Luck, and then he retired. Now they're getting another chance with a franchise quarterback that Frank Reich directly coached up during the Super Bowl run. He knows how to get the most out of him. And if there are any inklings that Carson Wentz is hard to work with, he's hard headed. Frank Reich, that's the guy you want working with him to quell assuage those concerns. If he can't do it, nobody can. Right.
exactly.
Same thing with Doc Rivers and Tobias Harris, or Doc Rivers with with JoJo and Ben. You know, if they're not getting the message from Brett Brown and the other coaches because he's too much of a team friendly coach, you bring in a guy like Doc Rivers who's respected, knows how to get the best out of players. No, I mean, so I think that Carson Wentz is going to a great situation, and the Colts are going to be right back in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion. I mean, you got a guy like Carson Wentz. If he, I think all his mistakes will be, I think they'll be fixed. You know, he's behind a really good offensive line. He has his successor back, you know, Frank Reich. And he's just put in a really good situation. He's got some nice receivers around him, and you know, I wish him the best, man. I hope he balls out.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's Jalen Hurts to the moon, as the stock market analyst would say.
Yeah, I'm about to boot fucking Howie Roseman to the moon, bro. I can't with him. If he doesn't draft a good pick.
So, you know, I see Carson Wentz. You said it was 70 to 75% of the stats would be the prerequisite.
Yeah, it was something between those numbers. You could probably look it up, it'll tell you. But I think it's 75%. If he plays 75% of his snaps, we get a first round pick.
Okay.
And if it's not 75%, if it's 70% and they reach the playoffs, we get a first round pick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that sounds reasonable. I mean, they're just protecting themselves for injury because you know.
Yeah, because he is injury prone. You know, he was healthy all next year, but no, not next year. He was healthy all last year, but I believe he can stay healthy. Truthfully.
Yeah, I don't think that he's injury prone. I look at him in the same vein as Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford couldn't stay on the field for a damn game in the first 4 years of his career, and then ever since then he's been Cal Ripken Jr. like the NFL version. He's been an Iron Man. He plays through broken backs and broken faces, whatever the hell. He breaks everything and just plays.
Broken faces.
I'm exaggerating, but
I know. I got you.
Yeah, he's the bionic man and he's still playing. Whereas before he would break a fingernail, it seems so, and would be out for the year. So yeah, I think Carson Wentz is gonna he will get us our first round pick, and he's going to, I think, lead them to the playoffs because you got the Titans in that division, and then the Texans, and then who else? I don't think they have a lot of competition. I think that they're better than the Titans, me personally.
Yeah, I agree.
With the Carson Wentz, I think he's going to bring that added dimension that you didn't have with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, man. I think they're going to be they're in a good spot, man. Getting Carson Wentz, they definitely upgraded at the position.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be big for them. And for Howie Roseman, you have an extra third round pick this year, correct?
Yep.
Third round pick this year. So I just don't have a whole lot of confidence in Howie when it comes to drafting. I have confidence in him when it comes to manipulating the numbers. I think when he has a good voice in his ear, I have confidence in him to be able to collaborate just like with Joe Douglas and be able to make good free agent signings. But I think there has to be an outside voice, though. Can't have that echo chamber.
Exactly.
You know? So we're going to see, because this is critical for him, because you have such a high pick. If you mess this up, then it's going to be whatever defenders inside and outside of the organization that Howie has, they're going to be gone, because you can't screw up a pick that's almost a given.
Yeah, look at like I said, man, I don't know if I told you about him. I think I might have. Look at Mike. I think it's Michael Parsons. Is a middle linebacker from Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a monster.
Dude, he is a stud. He is oh man, he's someone who I would absolutely love to have as a linebacker.
Who's your top three guys sitting at pick 6?
I believe Devontae Smith will be gone. I think the Dolphins will probably pick him up. I like that corner. Certain, what is it?
Patrick Surtain the third.
Patrick Surtain. There we go.
Yeah.
And someone else. I like the receiver from LSU.
That was the first guy on my list.
Yeah, it's Chase something.
Yeah, Chase Smith or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll know as we get deeper into the draft because I'm sure more stuff will come out, on these players.
yeah.
But from what I hear so far, I mean, I hope Devontae Smith. If Devontae Smith is sitting there, that's a player I'm not sure you can pass on that. I'm not sure how much you know of him, but he is an absolute monster. Like he's better. He's a better prospect than CD Lamb was last year.
From
And
from Alabama.
yeah, he's from Alabama.
Yeah, I seen him. I like the dude from. He's a monster. I like the dude from LSU a little bit more, but they're both monsters.
Yeah, they're both. Either way, I'd be
Either,
happy with either or.
yeah.
But you can't go quarterback. A lot of people are saying we're going to go quarterback, but I say give Hurts a chance.
Insane. I don't understand how people would say go quarterback, or even how the media outlets would even leak that type of information. I know Les Bowen mentioned it, like hours before the Colts trade went down, that the Eagles were thinking about quarterback along with the trade to the Colts.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense. I think that Jalen Hurts showed me enough, and I would think the organization enough, that if you give him a healthy offensive line, there's no reason why he can't be successful if you put some weapons around him.
and what I don't understand is I'm hearing say like, oh, he's a running quarterback, but I also saw an arm in him too. That pass to Deshaun Jackson deep, like he shows me he has. I think he has an arm, truthfully.
Yeah, the arm strength is not the question. It's always been the accuracy with him.
Yeah,
And,
the accuracy. That's what I've heard, but it's just I don't know. He's like you said. I think he's shown us enough to where he's capable of possibly being a starter in this league. We just got to see more of him.
I mean, me personally, I think he is a starter. I don't. I'm actually taken aback that people are so on the fence about him. I mean, in limited action, he showed you, while not trying to play outside the system, that he could move the ball up and down the field, no problem.
Yeah,
With the
imagine what OTAs and off
with a busted
season.
ass offensive line.
Yeah,
So it's
like
like,
I think.
I don't get it. Like, look,
Mhm.
I've never played football at the professional level. I get that. I haven't played in high school either. I just played Pee Wee. But what I do know, at any level, how important it is to block so your quarterback doesn't get his head taken off. Doesn't matter whether you're 10 or you're 22. And I played offensive line. So like, the feeling when you miss your block and the running back just gets speared in the backfield, or the quarterback gets chased down. You knew it was the guy that you're supposed to pick up.
Yeah, that's where you win, bro. The
Yeah,
trenches.
straight up and down.
Yeah, man. You win in the
Um,
trenches, you're gonna be a good team.
right, because you're gonna have Brandon Brooks coming back healthy, right guard. You're gonna have Lane Johnson healthy finally. Jason Kelsey, hopefully, I believe he's coming back for another year. And then
I
you
hope.
have, huh?
I hope so, man. He's contemplating retirement again.
Right, you're gonna have to have a contingency plan for that. I think it would be Sayamalu. I think that's their contingency plan. And then you're gonna have, I think Milot is the future at left tackle. But that's just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't think Dillard is gonna be here much longer,
No, I don't think he is either.
unfortunately. So you have, I think it's clear cut. You have your quarterback of the future. Like, I don't know. Like, people want the ready-made product, and they don't want to have the uncertainty of the what if. So
Mhm.
people tend to look for reasons not to want to go all in on a player, as opposed to seeing what's right in front of their eyes. Like, I saw a guy that, for all the questions and concerns about his accuracy, was pretty fairly accurate down a stretch while being under pressure and being composed in the pocket. Like, what more can you fucking ask for?
Yeah, give him a line and see what he can do.
Yeah, with an injured wide receiving core. So I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is the answer if you put weapons around him, um, which is why the guy Chase from LSU, that wide receiver, because I don't think the guy from Alabama will be around, but
No,
yeah, the guy Chase from LSU. Matter of fact, both of them might be there, because two quarterbacks are going in the first two picks, and then the lineman from Oregon. If he ever slips down to the Eagles, fuck the wide receivers, get the lineman from Oregon. That dude is special. Like,
which one? Which one?
uh I can't remember if he's Samoan or Hawaiian. Um,
The
but
offensive lineman?
Yeah, tackle. Like
Tackle.
first name that pops into my head when I think of him is like Orlando Pace, like throwback
Oh,
from the
I think
Rams.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name, but I remember I heard about him. Bill was telling me about him, and he's like the best tackle in the draft.
Yeah, I would flat out, if he's there, you take him. There's no questions about it because he can be your franchise left tackle, like to the level of what Trey Thomas was for you, like, all pro year in and year out.
Yeah, he's that good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can just see it, like in the same way as you see it with like Jason Kelsey and Jason Peters. Like he just the athleticism, he's good already, and he's only going to go from good to great, in my opinion, from
Right.
day one. So, yeah. So, but I don't think he'll be there. So the receiver from LSU, the linebacker that you were talking about from Penn State, because
Persons, yeah.
yeah, him, and then the tight end Kyle Pitts from
I
Florida.
wouldn't let him at all, man.
Yo,
He's a
yo,
mismatch nightmare.
I'm telling you, man, like he's your receiver and your tight end, man. Like he's just man. Like honestly, like I might take him over both of them dudes from LSU and Alabama, the wide receivers, because he's just yeah,
He's versatile, man. I mean, I gotta watch some tape on him. I haven't seen any
he's
tape on him.
phenomenal, man. Like he's gonna be like what's the tight end that's he's gonna be the next Darren Waller. That's what he is.
I mean, I like that if that's the case.
That's what I'm saying. I would take Darren Waller over a lot of the top receivers in this league.
Yeah, I think Darren Waller is top 3, man.
Yeah, like outside of like DeAndre Hopkins and Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams, like the top guys, I would take Darren Waller even over Travis Kelce. Like they're like neck and neck, just because Darren Waller is just, I mean, like Travis Kelce is freakish, but Darren Waller is just like freakish plus one. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just like, I mean, nobody talks about the Raiders, but when the Raiders went on prime time, all you heard the next day, win, lose, or draw, was like Darren Waller could not be stopped, cannot be covered.
Really, yeah.
You know the ball is going to him. And I think Kyle Pitts is the same way, man. Like the guy's like 6'6", and I mean he's as fast as like DeAndre Hopkins almost, man. That dude's just flies.
Well, that's pretty scary for defenses, huh?
Yeah, so those would be my top 3 picks, but don't worry, we won't get any of them. We'll screw it up when we're
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we'll draft fucking what's his name, Fields.
No, we're drafting Andrew Luck. You didn't hear?
There's
a new clause that if you come out of retirement, you can re-enter the draft. So we're going to draft Andrew Luck.
I could have swore we were drafting Sarah Fuller, bro.
or Dan Marino. That's been the word.
Yeah, or Peyton Manning. Shit.
Yeah, so
coming out of retirement, bro.
Yeah, draft capital well spent. I think the more pessimistic that I am about the draft, the more likely they are to do better because they'll do the opposite of what I said.
Yeah, watch it. We got to talk about it all up until draft. They're gonna shit the bed. I really think that's what they're gonna do anyway. Truthfully.
Yeah, because all right, man. Like hindsight 2020, we were watching the draft last year. I did not want Justin Jefferson. I remember when that pick came up on the ticker. I was like, please
don't.
Huh?
I was on the fence. I ain't gonna lie.
It's not that I didn't think that he was a very good player. It's just that I didn't think that he bought us what we needed at the spot we needed it at. And I was wrong on that. Like I'm fine with being wrong. However, what I was not wrong on was wanting CeeDee Lamb. Like I didn't want Justin Jefferson because I wanted CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb stuff, bro.
And I still stand on that. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was on fire until Dak Prescott went out, and then they had whoever the hell name it was behind center. Didn't matter. They all sucked.
The red BB gun, Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I mean, he got better, with the last 3 games, but like up until that point, him and the other backup, like they couldn't even hit the broadside of a barn. Like CeeDee Lamb just like disappeared. Like
it's a shame.
Before that, he was like, yeah, he's still the same guy. So it's like I'm still mad that they did not get CeeDee Lamb, and I'm mad that they did not get Denzel Mims. It's like, why would you draft? And I actually I'm fine with the regular pick. It's just like, why did you pick him at, what was it, 21?
Yeah, 21.
why did you pick him at 21? You could have got him or Denzel Mims in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And even like looking at like go get Denzel Mims. We talked about him. Like CeeDee Lamb, Denzel Mims were CeeDee Lamb was the guy. And then after that, Mims was the next dude that I wanted them to get.
Right.
It just seems painfully obvious that these are the guys to target, but they just don't see it.
Yeah, they get too cute, man. That's the problem. They just try to do something we don't expect and thinking it's the right move when it's really not. Like make it. They don't make the obvious choices. They just, I don't know, man. Howard Roseman needs to really his job's on the line with this draft, man.
It is. It is. I mean, we're getting to another month, and it's going to be free agency. So,
Yeah,
because they restructured this Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey
did they?
contracts. They've restructured 2 or 3 contracts because they're going to cut them after the June cutoff.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, the way they restructure their contracts, they'll be able to save more money that way. So I think they'll be saving like 9 or 10 million as opposed to less money.
Right.
I can't remember the exact figure, but they'll be saving a lot more money by restructuring their contracts so they can cut them at a higher value after the June 1st deadline. But they have a lot of work to do with that salary cap.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
we don't
man.
know where Zach Ertz is going either.
Yeah, he's not going to be here. That's the sad part.
Yeah. So we'll find out. But yeah, that's the big news on the Eagles. The Wentz trade just shut down social media today. And yeah, the next move is I think the only other big trade that's going to happen is Deshaun Watson and then maybe Russell Wilson too. So I have to keep eyes out on that.
Yeah, where do you think Russell Wilson's going to go?
I don't know, man. Maybe the Jets.
Ugh, gosh. Don't say that. I don't want to see him on the Jets, Jets. Oh, fuck that.
He'll immediately make them a contender.
He probably will.
They actually are in a good spot. They have a good line now. So you put him behind that line, give him Denzel Mims and give him another wide receiver in the Jets. So they'll be right there.
You never know, man.
So yeah. So that's it for the Eagles. I kind of want to touch on the Sixers and the Phillies briefly. So briefly with the Phillies, and I talked about it before, the big contract with JT, got the 5-year, was it 125 million or something like that? 130 million?
Yeah, I think it was 125.
Yeah, 125 million. So they finally stopped dicking around and gave him his money. So you have him and Bryce in the heart of that lineup. That's huge for them. Signed Didi to a 2-year deal. That's big. And then they signed a bullpen arm from is either the Athletics or the Orioles to a minor league deal. And he has we'll see if he gets brought up to the majors based off his performance and whatnot. So they need to address that bullpen. If they can do that, just with one arm, that would be big.
Absolutely. I heard they actually made a couple moves on some pitchers in the off season. Seems like they've been doing well with it.
Okay, that's good news. I mean, they have to.
Yeah, I've heard. These are things I've heard. Don't quote me on them.
Yeah.
But I think I've come across Facebook quite a few times where they signed some pitchers. So hopefully, if that's the case, I think they'll do well because they got a lineup when it comes to offense, but
yeah,
this pitching has been the reason why it's holding us back from going far.
I absolutely concur because I'm running my franchise on MLB The Show 20 right now, and that first year, 2019 and 20, I hit the ball, but my bullpen couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine, brother.
And I put my heart and soul into rebuilding that bullpen. And I got to the World Series in 2022, just lost it, but we back here again, we like 42-10. we moving. I made some moves, but like they I'm trying to give them the blueprint. That's what I'm really trying to say here. Like,
Yeah.
fix the
I
bullpen,
feel
man.
you, bro.
Fix the bullpen, man. Golly. You can't go out there and lose a 10-run lead in the ninth inning. Like, it doesn't work like that. They missed the playoffs by one game last year. One game, dog.
Yeah, well, when JT was unsigned, they need to fix the bullpen like they needed to sign JT Remuto. That's what I'm feeling like.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see
When
though.
you think of the bullpen, you just think of the meme of JT with I can't remember dude's name. That was running out full speed in a sprint from the bullpen. And JT just kind of like rolled his eyes. You remember that?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
He said like he was rolling his eyes because they had just given up. I don't know, it was a home run or a run or whatever. Like the play before, and he was just like frustrated, gave up the lead, and then he's rolling his eyes thinking about it at the same time as this dude looking goofy as hell, just like running full speed, sprinting. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're gonna be gassed before you even make it to the fucking mound. And you just see
Yeah,
the camera pan to JT. It's just him like,
time the paper, bro.
yeah, because my dad would say the same thing during that game, which was what makes it funny. Because like the guy was sprinting full speed from the bullpen. My dad was like, "Yo, is he gonna be tired by the time he gets out to the mound?" And apparently,
Yeah,
he's been doing that since you know the beginning of time, since the beginning of his career. So I don't know, whatever. The point is, they need to make sure they have at least one more good arm in the bullpen. Not like okay, not decent. I mean, actually,
good.
not. They don't have to be superstar. It doesn't have to be like,
Let's be good. Just good,
yes.
man. Let's spit the words out, bro. Good.
Oh man, I'm not asking for much.
Yeah, me either, bro. I
Really
just want
not.
a good, solid bullpen. We don't, like you said, we don't need to be great. You need to be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
And then lastly with the Sixers, just won last night. Very close game against the Rockets. They were up 29 points at one point and let them come all the way back. Kudos to the Rockets and John Wall for never giving up. They are the antithesis of like the bad news bears coming back. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Eagles, Sixers, to their credit, they let them come back to within like 7 or 6 points, and then they just put their hands on their face like that's close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah.
I like that.
Man, me too, man.
I like that. And be like set up in the post, got the ball down low, and then spun around like Jordan did a fadeaway. Like
Yeah, man.
insane, like MVP candidate.
Yeah,
You
he
looking like
definitely is, bro.
you're looking like a 7'2" Kobe out there, man. Just hitting fadeaways, like spinning around, just calling his shots. Like
I
it's
love it, man. And you know what I love? The fact that I predicted it. And
yeah,
it might be coming true. No?
yeah. You're a good omen, man.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yo, man, because my next door neighbor, he's a Lakers fan, and he's absolutely obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like every time I say something about the Sixers winning, he's just like, oh yeah, nah. It was luck. It was luck, lucky shot.
Was it luck when we beat the Lakers?
Of course it was.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I
Of
figured.
course it was.
Unreal.
What other explanation is there?
I don't know. I mean, it can't be a coincidence they've been having a good year, but it was just luck. Whatever.
Well, Ben Simmons, JoJo, Tobias back in LA Clipper form.
Yeah, man.
Danny Green and Seth Curry, they went off. They were like, what were they like 9 of 10 from 3-point range in the first half yesterday? It's just like, yo, like
I know, man.
both of them on fire at the same time. It was like a cheat code in 2K. Really was.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'll tell you what, man. I know it's probably never going to happen. I'm just dying for Ben Simmons to get a friggin' jumper, man. Because I'll tell you, if he can get a jumper and as dangerous as the defender as he is, he would just be 10 times more dangerous than what he is now.
That's why I like the game, even though we lost. And who was it? The game before that, it was the one where Embiid was out with the back stiffness 2 games ago. Against the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
And we lost that game, but
frustrated me.
Yeah, we lost that game, but Ben put up 42 points and really just took over the game from the get-go. And even Tobias like stepped up big with like 30. We had like 36, 39, something like that.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons, even in the midst of dropping those 42 and the shots he missed, he posted up a couple of times. He took some jump shots. He took some risks. And that's what I like to see even more so than the 42 points, was that he was taking shots, make or miss. He was taking shots all over the floor.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see.
Absolutely.
Because that means the message is getting through, and he's saying, like, JoJo's out. It's me and Tobias. I need to take over the game. I'm going to take shots when they're open. I'm going to take shots when they're not open. I'm going to make my own shots. I'm going to take a 15-footer, even if I miss it.
Yeah.
Right?
He's got to, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I can make him 10 times more dangerous, and
and that's a good thing.
Imagine what he can do.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Even with the shots that he missed from mid range, he was still able to come out and score on the next possession regardless. So like, and hopefully that's getting into his mind that it's okay to miss. It's okay to be a volume shooter even if you're missing some shots. Keep shooting.
Yeah, you'll get better eventually.
Kobe,
Repetition.
Kobe, Iverson, Bird, they had games where they were just stinking it up, just ice cold from the floor for like 2 or 3 quarters, and then would come out in the fourth quarter and just light it up. It's because like you have to have a certain level of confidence in your shot, even when you're just off, right?
Yeah, 100, man.
Yeah, you know, we're still number 1 in the East. That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, big things coming out with the Sixers, obviously. And then as we alluded to, well, talked about before the episode started, the Flyers getting back to work because COVID shut them down a little bit. So
yeah,
back to work, fellas.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this game, man. We play the Rangers.
Yeah. So we will reconvene and talk about the Flyers because I have to check their record because I mean they were off to a hot start, had a little rough patch there, but I mean from what I remember, looking at it early in the season, they were a really good team. You got the goaltending, obviously, and then before Coots went down, even after he went down, I mean you have Nolan Patrick, right?
Yeah, man.
Healthy. The migraines are hopefully a thing of the past, and he's looking sharp. So,
yeah, I've been impressed with him, man.
Yeah, and then you had Lindstrom back, from the cancer diagnosis last year. So you have a lot of guys back and better because they're young. They progressed, not regressed, and they're a good team. I mean, I would assume that they're a strong playoff contender after last year's run and what they've been showing me so far this year. So
they got better. I think they got better.
Oh, I think absolutely they got better.
Yeah,
they look they're still young, but they're stronger and more experienced.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah. I mean, that's it for this episode. I think we covered a lot of things, and let us know what you think about the Wentz trade. Everybody's gonna have their opinion. Everybody's a Monday morning quarterback. Everybody sees things with hindsight in 2020. But let us know what you think. Till next time, I'm Jen.
I'm Ryan.
And we'll catch you next time. Peace.